my favorite period drama is back. Even though the plot of episode 1 had leaked and I made a video about it, this episode was still so enjoyable to me. I loved seeing winter in New York. That muff Gladys was wearing, I think I want that more than anything in this world. Well, besides her wardrobe, Gladys also got an upgrade in her attitude. She's now standing up to her mother for a love story that is doomed to fail. Choosing La Traviata for the opera was not a coincidence. Meanwhile, the groundwork for Peggy's meeting with a handsome new doctor was laid in this episode. Get ready for a Peggy in love. Oh, and a Mr. Russell who will be furious than ever, returning home to find out that his daughter has run away and his wife has been scheming while he's away. Let's do an episode breakdown and then look at the trailer for the upcoming episodes. There are a lot of clues about episode 2. Gladys and Billy. We all know this marriage they have spoken of will not happen, right? The opera that they went to see is literally about the conflict between love and societal expectations. A young woman is in love with a young man, but she has to give up her love due to pressure from his family. So she has to sacrifice her happiness for family and honor. It's basically a story of doomed love, pretty similar to what we have here. If Billy were a real candidate for Gladys, I think the writers would have given him more screen time, but he seems to be a placeholder until the Duke comes. Also, you probably noticed Gladys promising a couple of times that her father would approve of her marriage to Billy. We know of his promise to his daughter that he would support her when she found herself a love match, but the fact that this was emphasized a few times tells me the opposite will happen. At first, George may support Gladys and fight with Bertha because of that, but it looks like he's risking a great fortune for his new railroad project, which means he may have to be okay with Gladys's marriage due to financial reasons. I'll talk more on this in the trailer section of the video, but we do know that Gladys and the Duke's wedding is arranged, although something scandalous could happen on the wedding day. Gladys did run away to elope with Billy, but perhaps Billy will give up his love for the sake of Gladys's future and honor. The roles might be reversed compared to the opera, but the themes remain the same. What do you think about this? Let me know in the comments. Marian and Larry. These two lovebirds have been courting for months, but Marian still wants to take things slow because she knows people still gossip about the abrupt ending to her engagement with Dashiell, whose non-existence in this season is something I'm most grateful for. I couldn't stand that guy. Anyway, since Larry is a gentleman, he's understanding, but he also can't keep his hands to himself. Adorable. To me, nothing seems to be an obstacle to this relationship. I'm sure Bertha would want to marry Larry off to some European princess, but she can't really dictate to him like she does with Gladys. Agnes may not be happy, but I also don't think she would oppose this union. What do you think? A Marian and Larry engagement and then wedding sometime this season? Would that happen? Tell me your theories in the comments. Rhijn Household is my favorite place in the whole world. I would pay top dollar to just watch Agnes's petty remarks all day long. I'm loving the new dynamic in the household with Agnes and Ada giving out separate orders, with Agnes being stubborn about her silver and Ada holding her ground about her newly found status. This will continue for a while, and the synopsis for the season revealed that it will get worse as the episodes move along. I just hope this rivalry doesn't grow up to be something more than that. I love these two's relationship, wouldn't want them to fall apart. As for the other members of the Rhijn household, such as Peggy and Jack, things don't look good for the moment, but that will change soon. Peggy was not treated by the doctor, and unfortunately that was a sad reality of the times. Even in the early 20th century, many white physicians refused to see African American patients. There are even stories from a few decades ago of white doctors not touching black people even with a stethoscope. Even though it was a dark storyline, it will lead to some good. Peggy will meet Dr. William Kirkland and we'll see them courting each other for the rest of the season. More on that later. Jack was also troubled in this episode because he was acting above his station. I'm quoting him. I think much time won't pass before Larry invites him to the meetings with the investors because he can't tell a goddamn thing looking at those drawings. And even though I like Adelheid, I'll see how she reacts when our dear Jack becomes a rich man thanks to his invention. The Fanes. I know most of you don't like this storyline at all because it came out of nowhere. When I did my leak video for episode 1, most of the comments were about not liking where the story goes for the Fanes, and you're right. These two were basically like Barbie and Ken, and now you're telling me Ken has been cheating on Barbie? I don't like that one bit either. I think divorce being one of the main themes of the season played a part here. Since the series is interested in showing the social context our characters live in, and a divorced woman would basically lose all rank and importance in society, they wanted to showcase that with a character. But Mrs. Fane is adamant about not wanting to divorce Mr. Fane. They teased the suffrage movement as an important thing that was going on in that period, so maybe we'll see her turning into a radical and supporting women's suffrage. I personally would like Mr. Fane to die before the divorce happens because I do not want to see Aurora unhappy. She's the best. What are your theories for this couple? Don't forget to let me know. Trailer. Max released a new trailer full of intriguing scenes for the remainder of the season. First of all, they realize that Gladys is gone. George is back and is furious, rightfully so. And the tension already starts to increase between him and Bertha. George blames her. "This is your doing," he says. But the rest of the trailer proves that Gladys is back at the house, so the elopement doesn't happen. Her portrait is presented to society. By the way, a quick note, Gladys's gorgeous dress was inspired by a painting by Giovanni Boldini, who painted a woman called Emiliana in 1888. So Gladys is back. There's even a moment, which I think is from her wedding day, with her wearing white. Regardless of wondering whether this wedding will happen or not, one thing is crystal clear: it will put a strain on the Russell marriage. In the trailer, George tries to convince Bertha to let Gladys have the marriage she wants. He says that they had a love match. Why can't Gladys have the same? But as Bertha clearly says to Mrs. Carlton in the trailer, she's a woman who gets what she wants. If she's on a path, no one can stop her. The rest of the trailer focuses on Marian and Larry, with Marian still being cautious and scared that another one of her relationships will not end up well. But I think Larry will convince her that he's the right guy. The Fane divorce is the talk of the Rhijn household again, and Agnes says that it would be better if Aurora were dead, which is not helpful but funny. And it is true. We learned that Aurora would not even be invited to Agnes's dinners. She would be no one as a divorced woman. Peggy and the hot doctor go on dates, but there's a problem. His family doesn't like Peggy, probably because she's a working woman, but we'll see. Mr. Russell is having problems with his business, risking his entire fortune. Jack attends those meetings with Larry as predicted. Oscar's old boyfriend is back. He will probably help Oscar get back on his feet. I don't know why the hell Mr. Fortune is back, probably just to cause drama and get between Peggy and the doctor. It also looks like Hector, aka the Duke, is involved in some kind of business deal with Mr. Russell, and that is probably why George lets the wedding happen. We don't know the details yet, but we'll see. Episode 2 is titled What the Papers Say, and the synopsis pretty much confirms everything we talked about. Concerned about Peggy's worsening condition, Agnes and Ada welcome her parents and their physician, Dr. Kirkland, to 61st Street. Meanwhile, Oscar gets a professional favor from an old friend. Bertha makes her case for the Duke to a skeptical George, and Gladys suffers a heartbreaking disappointment. What did you think of episode 1, and what are your theories for episode 2? Let me know in the comments. If you're interested in a video where I ranked the best costumes of season 2, check out this video.